The Tulsa County Election Board says it's ready for tomorrow's election.
More than 3,000 people in Tulsa County have already voted in person last week. Absentee ballots are coming in through the mail. News on 6's Amy Slanchik has more on why this election is tough to compare to others in the past.
Less than 1% of registered voters in Tulsa County went to the election board or Hardesty Library last week to cast their votes early.
For tomorrow, it's anybody's guess what kind of turnout we'll have.
Tulsa County Election Board Secretary Gwen Freeman says about 1,400 people came out on Thursday and almost 2,000 people voted Friday. Across the state, about 34,000 people voted in person early.
We had a steady stream of voters all day long, both days.
Freeman says you have to look back almost 2 decades to 2005 to consider the last time there was a standalone issue in a statewide special election. Less than 20% of registered Tulsa County voters made their voices heard then, whether they were voting early or on election day.
Back then it was a gasoline tax that was up for election. We had about 18% of the population show up to actually vote in that election in 2005. And again, a gasoline tax, you can't really compare that to recreational marijuana. It's apples and oranges.
This election is also tough to compare to the medical marijuana state question because that issue was on the same ballot as the statewide primary for governor and several other races.
That was an extremely well-attended election. For this election, we don't know what to anticipate. We know that early voting wasn't, quite the numbers that we had during the primary that contained the medical marijuana issue.
Polling places are ready for what Freeman says will be a historic election, no matter what voters decide. The polls are open from 7 to 7 tomorrow. The online voter portal is a good resource for everything you need to know, like finding your polling place or reading a sample ballot. In Tulsa, Amy Slanchik, Oklahoma's Own, News on 6.